In the north of France, there are thousands of migrants escaping some of the most dangerous countries on the planet. Although the Calais jungle was abolished at the end of 2016, there are still many migrants living in the north of France. They want to escape war, conflict and extremism in order to protect themselves and their loved ones. Migrants are frequently dying on our shores, including children. In my opinion, not enough is being done by authorities. So, I'm going to spend some time working at a fantastic charity called Care for Calais to see the amazing work they do to keep the migrants fed, living and as safe as possible. I want to know how bad the situation really is, because I keep seeing it in the papers and I keep seeing it on the news.
My name is Josh Westover. I'm a filmmaker from Brighton, and I'm going to go to Calais to document the current refugee crisis. Every week they're dying out at sea trying to come over to the UK. I'm seeing it in the papers, I'm seeing it on the news, so I'm going to go and find out how bad the situation really is. I think it's going to be really interesting to understand not just people's stories, because there's a lot of that online already, but just to understand why people are sending their family members, their daughters, their sons on boats across to the UK when I've just got off a massive ship and it was going left, right. I can't imagine how scary it'd be, especially at night time, to be on a rubber dinghy trying to get over to the UK with hardly any room. It's beyond me.
I finally arrive at Care for Calais just before lunch. We are about to head straight out to Dunkirk, led by team leader Ollie.
My name's Ollie McAllister. I'm a team leader here at Care for Calais and I have been for 3 months. And before that I was a volunteer for 5 months. In 2016 the big Calais jungle was dismantled, but since then the situation hasn't gone away. There are still people living in Calais and Dunkirk. People are living outside in tents and under plastic tarpaulins. People are having to live throughout the summer but also the winter as well, living through extreme weather conditions, through the wind, the snow and the rain.
Unfortunately, there was a shooting last night, 2 shootings to do with the local gangs apparently, and it's also happened about 20 minutes ago, so not too sure what to expect. I know the vibes there are going to be pretty grim from what I can expect and imagine. We are about to head over there now and the team leaders are going to decide whether it's safe for us to go into the camp or not safe at all.
After our team talk, I realised the amazing services that Care for Calais provide. The vans have been packed, we get on the road and head to Dunkirk. We arrive at Dunkirk, police are everywhere and everyone is on edge. There has been 3 shootings in the last 12 hours, right here where we are based.
Just arrived at camp in Dunkirk. As you can see, there's lots of police everywhere over behind me. Due to the shooting, we can't take the cameras in today, unfortunately, but hopefully in a couple of days' time we'll be able to get the cameras in there and get more of an understanding on the situation.
On the day of our usual trip to Dunkirk, we received news that there were shootings the night before. We then received further information that there had been more shootings that day. We made the decision to take our team of volunteers and services to Dunkirk camp. We provided people with essential phone charging, hot drinks, as well as clothing items as well. This was a setup that was made just only 30-40 metres from where the shooting took place, but it was still really important that we were there amongst the situation. We were there standing strong as an organisation, providing people with essential humanitarian aid. Despite being amongst risks with the smugglers and the mafia, we decided to stand strong as an organisation and provide people with the valuable services that we were able to offer.
When I went into the camp today for the first time, I was pretty shocked to see that the guy who got shot in the head got shot about 30 metres away from us. So obviously that explained all the police, and a lot of the migrants they were all a bit distressed. Lots of people were on edge. It made our job a lot harder. It was very difficult trying to deal with the crowds, trying to hand things out. People were very agitated already. I think the police's presence was making them more on edge than anything else at the camp.
Refugees, when they reach Calais and Dunkirk, are really shocked when they have to live amongst violent crime and are targeted by various groups.
Our time in Dunkirk is over and we head home. Honestly, I'm relieved to be away from a blood-stained floor and a very tense atmosphere.
At the moment, the UK government are trying to put through a policy where when refugees and asylum seekers reach the UK, they are deported to Rwanda for their asylum claims to be processed. This is a policy that Care for Calais are standing up against and challenging, and to do that, unfortunately, it's really difficult to help people in France, so we're handing out flyers and leaflets. On these leaflets, give people valuable mobile numbers to be able to call, so that when they reach the UK, they call these numbers. We ask people to write these numbers on their arms, save them in their phones, do anything that means that when they get to the UK, they've got these phone numbers, and then we can provide people with legal support, which will increase their chances of being able to stay in the UK.
I'm tucked up in bed, but I can't stop thinking about all the people I met today. I saw some very sad sights. After seeing what I saw today, I understand why the migrants don't want to stay in Calais.
It's my second day at Care for Calais and we're here this morning. As you can see behind you, you've got all the volunteers that are sorting out, cleaning the equipment, the games from yesterday. We've actually had new deliveries today. We've got tents, sleeping bags, clothes. And as you can see, these containers, they all contain food, drink, water. There's actually one open, we can actually go inside. We've got all different, we've got fruit, veg, lots of rice. I'm guessing rice because it's, you know, it lasts the migrants quite long and it's probably quite easy for them to cook, as they can probably start their own fires at night time or whenever they want and cook the rice. It's just started absolutely hammering down, and it's all I can think about is how on earth are these migrants going to be sleeping in their tents. Two guys came up to me yesterday at the Dunkirk camp who were damp and almost wet, and they said to me, they said, look, they spoke a bit of English, and they said, it was really rainy last night. It was, you know, we haven't got any clothes. We're wet. You know, we're cold. Have you got anything? Have you got anything for us? And it was awful. And I just think it's absurd that people are having to live in tents and outside, in between France and England. It's not really. It's odd. Very odd. It shouldn't be a thing. In this warehouse, lots of things arrive and it gets sorted out by the volunteers, like Jed over here. Jed, what are you sorting out at the moment?
Hi. When the warehouse gets donations of any description, they go into this corner here. So it's a bit of a mess and a bit of a bundle. And the idea is that they are rough sorted at first. So this, for example, this is you can see up there, women's and children. So this is a box of newborn clothes. They will be sorted again into individual jumpers, socks, vests, tops, and they will put in other boxes. That's when they're sorted, and the quantities. So they're very prescriptive at the end of the day. So this is the first sort in effect.
Yeah,
for
awesome.
any donations.
Cool.
And we just get stuck in and get on with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. This does have such a huge impact on the migrants. I know that if I was starving, hungry, with no food, I'll be begging people to turn up with just a can of potatoes or some fruit or some veg. Without all of this, I don't really know how the migrants are going to live a slightly normal life, because this gives them a little bit of hope that there are people that care, and that hopefully maybe things can get better for them. if you come over this way, we'll have a look in the main warehouse. This is where a lot of the items get dropped off, and then it gets sorted by the volunteers. Lots to sort through. At the moment, there's I think around 30 volunteers roughly per day this week, which is actually, compared to how many migrants there are, not a lot at all.
Yeah, it's fine. They're only
What food are you making for the migrants?
This is for team for lunch.
Oh, this is for team for lunch.
We gotta eat, but
Oh.
it's based on like the same
And the
ingredients that we
spinach has
give
to
them
go in too.
refugees in the
That's
bag.
just the same. Yeah, great. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Maybe we should put half of it in the other
I
bag.
think we might have to. I don't know how we're going to
Yeah,
do
so
it.
we're making chickpea and potato curry. We've had rice like every day this week,
Yeah,
so we were like, we want to make something without rice.
yeah. I like a potato as well.
Yeah?
I love a potato. Yeah.
Amazing. Do you like potatoes?
Yes, I love potatoes. I'm not here. I'm not here.
I'm sorry, I can't do the fourth wall
Do you
thing.
think we can get
Cut that. A small amount of the food that gets sent over is also for the volunteers, because it's really important that they get fed and looked after while they're putting in such huge efforts to look after all the people living in the migrant camps.
We eat lunch and sit down for the team leaders to give us a rundown of the day. I'm really hoping we don't get caught in any crossfire on mafia-related feuds. After our trip yesterday, I'm up with 3 shootings in total. Everyone is slightly on edge as we don't know what to expect. Thankfully, we will have the support from other charities, unlike yesterday where we were on our own. We have been told the Calais camp is not as dangerous as the Dunkirk camp. However, the mafias are operating in both. Lucy, a team leader, goes through the day plan.
This road here is called Rue de Judy. We are going to be driving up this road here. The minibus, which I'll be driving, and anyone who's driving their own car, so that's going to be Ollie, Chris, Annie, and the film crews. You're going to all park behind the minibus on this road just here. The red van, driven by Seb, is going to drive up here and onto where we were this morning, Seb. You're going to swing the red van round onto Rue de Judy at the top here. Out the back of the red van, we'll be running our hot drink station, so tea, coffee, hot chocolate, biscuits. We'll have a table for milk and sugar just next to it, and then a table for cups of water. Up the top of the field, we have our 2 generators. These are going to power our charging boards. So we've got 2 generators and 5 charging boards and a speaker. And then our hair station is going to come out of one of the big charging boards as well, running our electric clippers for the guys to all get a haircut and a shave. In the middle of the field, we'll have our games. So these are tables and chairs with chess, dominoes, Connect 4 they really love. And then down this side here, we're going to have picnic blankets for sewing, English and bracelets. Over this side is the football pitch, so we're going to build up some goals and set out some cones, and the guys are going to play football over this side. Most important thing is our muster point. This is going to be at the minibus, so as we drive onto site, please everybody just clock where the minibus is parked on the road over here. If at any point any of the team leaders ask you to go to the muster point, this is the minibus. Don't ask any questions, just head straight there. It might be that we evacuate site, it might be that we hang off for a bit and we can go back in, but whatever the reason is, please just trust us.
We arrive and it's a lot quieter than yesterday, and clearly a lot more relaxed. I expected a lot more migrants.
How comes there's not as many people at this sort of field?
So the interesting thing about setting up in the week is that we aren't the only association working in the Calais at the moment. So there's a day centre called Secure Catholic. So a lot of the guys sometimes go there, particularly when a day like today when the weather's been a little bit rainy. People have chosen to go there. So yeah, hence why kind of we share the burden, I suppose, of the need.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Awesome. And how long are we here for today? About 3 hours in total?
Yeah, we have 3 hours today, so from 2
3
o'clock
hours.
to 5 o'clock. And we come here 3 times a week.
3 times a week, okay. And then Dunkirk twice a week.
Dunkirk twice a week.
Okay, cool, awesome. All right, thank you. Care for Calais have put on hairdressing and barbering. I've got cricket to my right, I've got football to my right. We've got bracelet making, we've got the medics who are over here to my left. You know, this is such a massive setup, but there's not really a lot of volunteers compared to how many migrants there are and how many migrants need care and attention and help.
Although it doesn't seem to be as bad as Dunkirk yesterday, it's still difficult to see. Migrants are always labelled with danger or criminality, and these people are far from that. That's what they're running from, and some seem to believe the UK will help them. Although the idea that all refugees try to get to the UK is a common and false misconception. Sweden and Hungary, which both have smaller populations than the UK, have taken a lot more migrants. I meet some of the men playing football, and they seem friendly and keen to talk to me on camera, so I speak with Mohammed, who wants to come to the UK and soon will be taking a boat across the dangerous waters where many lose their lives.
What do you think British people think of you guys coming to the UK? Do you feel welcome or not welcome?
In UK, I think human in UK is very good, because if you will go to UK, he will welcome to you.
Yeah.
Welcome to UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think not everyone's welcoming, but how will you get to the UK?
From here,
Yeah. I guess boat or something.
I don't know, maybe
It's scary, no?
scared from here. I'm not understand question.
It's
Scared
because
from here or
on the sea,
yeah.
it's dangerous and
It is very dangerous.
Yeah.
It is very dangerous. But this is my dream. I want to go to UK.
and you don't
Because,
like it here.
My country not safe.
Not safe.
Yeah.
Oh,
not safe.
in Sudan.
In Sudan, yeah.
Yeah.
Sudan, it is more problem.
Yeah.
Government no good.
Is it dangerous for you to
Yeah,
stay?
it's dangerous.
Yeah.
If you will talk anything, government no want to kill you. It's big problem. I
Wow.
want safe. Yeah, we'll go to UK because UK is safe.
It's safer.
Yeah.
And you can build a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not life, just life, learn. Everything in Sudan no good. No learn, no life, no safe. It's big problem.
Yeah.
If you my country is safe, I will not come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my country no good.
And even though you're here in France, like lots of English would like to live in France and come to France.
Yeah.
But you still want to go to England even though it's nice here. Your dream is to go to England.
My dream,
Yeah.
I want to go to UK. This is my dream.
Mohammed clearly wants to come to the UK to get an education and learn to become a mechanic. It seems the government in Sudan are forcing their own out. As he said, it's not what he wants, but he feels he has no choice if he wants to live a better life. Thinking about it, I would do the same.
And what was your name, sorry?
My name is Mahmoud.
Mohammed. Well,
Yeah.
I hope you can come to the UK.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome. Welcome
Yeah.
to you.
And I'll come play football after.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go against you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll go against you, Mohammed.
Okay.
Yeah? It's so nice to see some of these people smiling, playing games, playing football, and just doing things that they should be doing on a day-to-day basis, really. This is the sort of thing that Care for Calais do, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Like, just looking at the smiles on the faces and just having fun. You know, if it wasn't for charities like Care for Calais and the people that donate to Care for Calais, none of this would be here and none of this would exist. This guy is a professional topple tower player by the looks of it. And I'm not talking about Ollie. It's a lot different here to the Dunkirk camp. I'm not sure if it's because we've got football, sports, and there's not as many migrants here at this current moment, but it just feels a lot less tense. In Dunkirk, it was overcrowded. People were on edge, and what with someone getting shot in the head, it made everything feel really uncomfortable. But the thing is, I think this is quite a regular occurrence. You know, the crime, the attacks, stabbings, shootings, they happen quite frequently. But they're not the sort of things that you see reported on the news.
Although in Dunkirk there were some women and children, I've noticed most of the migrants are men, and I speak with Vidya, a medic.
So what we've heard is that the oldest man of a family will try and make the journey because it's dangerous and everything, with the belief that like when you get back to the UK, you can bring your families over. But with the new Nationality and Borders Bill, essentially, if someone arrives in the UK like illegally, which people are going to have to do because there is no legal way to cross, they don't have the right to bring their families over now, which means that a lot of these guys, especially some like really young guys, have made this journey, like this really dangerous journey, with the hope of bringing their families through, and they won't be able to do that. And they probably won't have heard of the new bill, through their journey. So, yeah.
The vibes here are so different to Dunkirk, and I think apparently some days the volunteers don't know what to expect. Some days it can be dangerous, it can be wild, it can be heavily populated, but some days it can be quiet like this and people are more relaxed. It just changes from day to day.
I speak with Mustafa, another young man who is trying to come to the UK. He talks similar to Mohammed and mentions how dangerous his home is and how he dreams of living a peaceful life in the UK.
Right now in Sudan, our revolution is continuing. There is no justice, no freedom. It's like this, so that was more reasons that you will leave your country.
Yeah. It's. And are you looking to go to the United Kingdom soon?
Yeah, all of these people, they have wishes in their minds and they want to get it through. So they come, they live this difficult life here. So now our life is very difficult in Calais here.
What's the hardest thing about living in Calais? What's the most difficult thing about?
It's difficult. It's more difficult. We sleep in the forest. Even in our food is not good food. Just we escape it. If it's bad, also we have to pass it again.
You almost feel like animals.
Yeah, yes. We sometimes feel ourselves like animals. But the life steps like this, step by step, you can make your goal or make your dreams right like this. You don't come. If you pass from Italian to come here, you can't find anything is ready. You have to pass in difficult way, and then you will find.
I've heard stories about how bad the police treat the migrants, and I can understand why Mustafa feels they are being treated like animals.
Are you here with family? I know it's a difficult question.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I'm here without family. My family is in Sudan. Yeah.
As he said, it's scary and difficult to live in a forest, and it's very sad to see such a young, well-spoken man having to take such risks as well as leaving his family. I speak to another young man who can't be named. He has been in Calais for 3 days, but I can see in his eyes what struggle it's been already. He talks about how dangerous the Taliban are.
No learning, no education, so it's very dangerous.
Yes, dangerous.
Yeah.
No can't going to street, going to park.
He talks about how the Taliban control so many human rights, such as women cannot go into education or work, and the dangers that him and his family were facing every single day.
Yeah.
And you know it's very, very dangerous. People are dying on lorries.
Yes, it's very dangerous. But Afghanistan, no good country because of Taliban.
The Taliban.
Taliban is very dangerous.
And where you live was there Taliban?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Taliban. But the Taliban not good people.
Yes.
The girls not can learn.
I find this interview difficult. He doesn't speak the best English, and he tells me how dangerous it is where he's from. He tells me that his family went to the next country, but sent him further away.
You speak with your family?
My family, I'm here at Calais, France. I want to go Britannia.
Knowing you may never see your child or family again must be extremely difficult to take on board, especially as a parent. He feels he had no choice but to try and get to the UK. Calais is the last stopping point where a lot of young men get targeted by gangs and mafias. I could tell from what he was saying, he has been through a very difficult journey with his family. But now he has to make even more of a dangerous journey. On an overcrowded boat across the deadly sea. I really hope he doesn't become one of the dead, and I hope he understands how dangerous the risk really is. My time in Calais is over, and I'm heading back to the UK to hopefully speak with some asylum seekers that have made the terrifying journey. On my way home, I'm reflecting on the past few days, and it takes only a few hours before I'm back on British land. It's a really odd feeling now I've been to witness the Calais crisis, just how close and serious it is. I have nothing but hope for the families and young men that I have met. I meet Anvar, who is living here in one of the hotels. I met him at a migrant football group, and he agrees to talk with me and tell us his story.
خب من انور کریمی هستم از کشور ایران آمدم 6 ماه پیش در مورد ایران برای شما صحبت کنم. خب در ایران یه حکومت مذهبی دیکتاتوری فقه دینی بر سر کاره و مردمان ایران رو خیلی اذیت میکنه. در ایران آزادی مطبوعات، آزادی‌های فردی وجود نداره و ممنوع فعالیت همه حزب‌ها بجز احزاب اسلامی در ایران ممنوعه. در ایران آموزش زبان‌های سایر قوم‌ها، آموزش زبان مادری ممنوعه، فقط زبان فارسی تدریس میشه و این موضوع همه مردم ایران رو نگران کرده. در مورد زندگی کردها براتون بگم. خب کردهای ایران در چند استان ایران زندگی میکنند و زندگی سختی دارند و همیشه جزء اقلیت‌های قومی بودند در ایران و همیشه برای آزادی مبارزه کردند. خب من در سال 1381 بعد از اینکه دیپلم گرفتم اون موقع 21 سال سن داشتم و عضو حزب دموکرات کردستان ایران بودم، پارتی دموکراتیک کردستان ایران. وقتی برگشتم من دستگیر شدم و مدت‌های زیادی رو در زندان‌های انفرادی بودم. خیلی دوست ندارم وضعیت زندان‌ها رو بگم چون وضعیت خیلی سختی بود و به خاطر اینکه مذهب اسلام رو نداشتم و این موارد خیلی منو اذیت و شکنجه کردند. بعد از آزادیم مشروط آزاد شدم و حق ادامه تحصیل و کار در ادارات دولتی رو نداشتم و طی چند سال اخیر این وضع ادامه داشت. اعتراضات مدنی و مردمی شرکت داشتم و به من خبر دادن که امنیت جانی ندارم در ایران و مجبور شدم که کشورم را ترک کنم. به همین خاطر به مرز ترکیه اومدم، کردستان ترکیه. خب اونجا با قاچاق فروشا آشنا شدم و برادرم در ایران منو ساپورت کرده. خب ما چند روز در جنگل‌های ترکیه بودیم تا خودم رسوندم مرمریز. خیلی وضعیت سخت و نگران کننده بود و واقعا بهتون بگم اگه تو این سن 46 سالگی من مجبور نبودم هیچ وقت این سفر رو انجام نمیدادم. خب قاچاق فروش‌ها انسان‌هایی هستن که معمولاً هویت خودشون رو آشکار نمی‌کنند، یعنی باندهای مختلفی هستن و اصلا نمیذارن بفهمی کی هستی. من اسم هیچ کدوم از اونها رو نمیدونم چون اسمای اشتباهی میدم و گروه‌های مختلفی هستن. بعد از اون ما 52 نفر مردم بودیم. 15 people in the boat traveling Turkey in waters Mediterranean. از راه آبای مدیترانه 7 شب و 7 روز سخت و تو دریای مدیترانه بودیم و خیلی احساس ناخوشایندی داشتیم. نمیتونستیم غذا بخوریم، دریا زده شده بودیم، حالمون خراب بود اونجا. تو قایق یه سری خانواده بودن، زن و بچه، children، بچه ها اونجا بودن، خیلی میترسیدن، داد میزدن و خیلی وحشتناک بود تا رسیدیم ترکیه. یعنی اصلا یه جوری شد که من رسیدم ایتالیا چند روز مریض بودم و نمیتونستم غذا بخورم. خب تو قایق ما وقتی که تو دریا بودیم با موجای شدیدی روبرو بودیم، آب می اومد تو قایقمون، خیلی شرایط سختی بود، وسایل بهداشتی نبود و هر لحظه ما احساس میکردیم میمیریم. یعنی تا رسیدیم ایتالیا بارها مردیم و زنده شدیم. بارها I feel dead in the boat.
Safe.
Yeah, dead. I feel upset in the boat.
Oh, upset, sorry.
Yo, very upset. خیلی وحشتناک بود، خیلی. یعنی مثلا باور نمی‌کنم چجوری رسیدم اونجا. و بابت این کار قاچاقچی‌ها پول زیادی از مردم میگیرن. چیزی حدود تا از ترکیه میرسی به ایتالیا 10,000 دلار از ما پول گرفتن. 10,000 دلار از ما پول گرفتن تا ما رو رسوندن ایتالیا. سوری. و از ایتالیا هم خب خودم رو رسوندم به دانکریک و اونجا با یه سری دیگه قاچاق فروش آشنا شدم که از راه کانال مانش، کانال انگلیسی، ما رو رسوندن به بریتانیا. و پلیس فرانسه خیلی ما رو اذیت میکرد، چادرها رو میسوزوند، مردم رو پراکنده میکرد. و خب من وقتی تو آبای کانال مانچ کشتی یعنی پلیس انگلیسی دیدم خیلی خوشحال شدم و احساس امنیت کردم.
I've just had my chat with Anvar, and although I'm aware a lot of people's stories are horrific and not nice to hear, when he started telling me about the torturing, he had to spend 3 days through a forest without seeing a lot of daylight because they were locked in a van with the human traffickers, to then go to Marmaris, to then have to face 7 days, 7 nights on a boat, a vessel. This vessel was 12 meters with 50 people on, women, children. They were crying, screaming. It was absolutely horrific. Pitch black, out at sea at night. I'd be terrified. I think a lot of people would be too. It doesn't end there. He has to then get to Dunkirk from Italy, and then he was faced with the mafia and all the living conditions, and the nightmare just wasn't over. He finally came over to the UK after spending £20,000 on trafficking and small vessels, and he was greeted with the British police when he arrived on the beach, and he's now living in a hotel, being looked after, trying to claim asylum as he can't return home. It's very difficult to understand how someone can go through so much when 1 minute they're living a normal life. He's 46 years of age and he's lived a very normal life. He's been in work all his life, he's had education, and due to the government and the police, he was forced out because he would have lost his life if he didn't leave immediately.
Very good. Careful, Calais.
In Dunkirk and Calais?
Yeah.
And you went to Dunkirk?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Okay, cool. When you get to know their stories and the real background of why they have to leave their countries, why they're trying to come to the UK, and what they have to go through, on reflection, I welcome people like Anvar into our country, because otherwise there's no hope, there's no life for them. How do you think it's going to change? Is it going to change?
خب میخوام به مردمی که پناهنده ها رو یه جورایی اذیت میکنن، چون من شنیدم بعضی جاها نجات پرستا پناهنده ها رو اذیت میکنن. ما مردم بدی نیستیم، ما برای زندگی بهتر و آرامش و دوستی به این کشور اومدیم، یعنی به بریتانیا اومدیم. ما بریتانیا رو دوست داریم، اگه دوست نداشتیم به کشور بریتانیا نمی اومدیم.